So the Barossa wine show is over. I tasted hundreds of wines, Shiraz, Semillons, Riesling. It was really a great experience. But one thing stuck in my mind was finding balance and beauty in Shiraz. And I actually found a number of producers. One is Head. They make wonderful balanced wines. Alex Head is the winemaker. His wine even won the chairman's selection. So I thought to myself, I better go see this guy and taste some of his wines. So let's go say hi. Alex, how you doing?
Hey, buddy.
Good seeing you. Yeah, it's been a while.
Support, yeah.
No, I really love your wine. They're great. And thanks again for sort of organizing a tasting, and
not a problem.
We'll talk about the wines.
Yeah. Welcome to Marananga.
Great, let's go.
All right, buddy.
Thanks.
Cheers.
So Alex, we have three wines here, three Shiraz, and I know that you really are particular about vineyard sites, about picking at the right time, really taking care of the fruit. How did that all come about compared to guys that are making big, alcoholic, black wines?
Well, I guess if I go back to the start of my career in the wine industry, I took some inspiration from the wines of the Rhone Valley, and I just love the fruit in the Barossa. I think we can grow some of the best fruit in the world, and I was always looking in the winery, and I was thinking, how do the wine, everyone's talking about single sites and these beautiful wines, and then in bottle I was seeing characters that I didn't like, and so I explored the winemaking side, and then realised pick earlier in the vineyard, do more work in the canopies, and yeah, I guess be very gentle, extract gently, let the heat of the ferment do the extraction, longer ferments.
Because if you leave the grapes too long in the vineyard, you extract too much, all this sort of character you get from that covers the true character of the soil.
Well, that's right. My experience was that a vineyard never lies, so your quality of your vineyard is set. After a certain point in the phases of ripening, if you leave it any longer, you're just going to get more extract, more sugar, and the balance of the wine seems to move to a certain style of wine that you'll bottle in the end. So I guess it's capturing things at the right moment, and in the Barossa, because it's quite warm, we've had quite a few warm vintages of late, you really have to catch that and make sure that 3-day window that you have to be in the vineyard, you have to be making those decisions and committing. Otherwise, I have this saying, by the time you've decided to pick, you're already a week too late. So go to a cooler climate. You've got a 3 weeks to choose the style of wine. In the Barossa, I think a lot of the time on the valley floor, particularly of late, it's you got to make the decision quickly. Yeah.
Well, let's taste the wines.
Beautiful. We've got a Shiraz from Eden Valley in the sub-region called Maculta.
Eden's a little bit cooler than normal Barossa area, no?
It is a lot cooler. It ripens a lot later, so you get a lot more hang time.
There's almost a mintiness to this.
Yeah, so it's a real dry ground area. There's not a lot of rainfall in Maculta, which is the north of the Eden, and a lot of big old gum trees lining the vineyards, some deep red clays, so some of the heavier soils of the Barossa, but at that elevated site. So you get very dark fruits, and you get a real minerality from that elevation.
And you get a sort of a grilled meat character rather than sort of gamey character.
That's right.
More like Northern, more like Hermitage.
Very much so. Very much so. Okay, now of the 3 sites that I make Shiraz from, this is the warmest of the sites. It comes from Stonewell, which is just down the road from Marananga, and here we move towards more rounder fruits, sweeter fruits. So we moved away from the herbs, and we're now back in the fruit spectrum.
Blackberries, but sort of some plums, right? Plums.
Yeah, plums and licorice, and the warmth of the Barossa. This is what people expect. They want that richness.
Yeah, but it's not heavy. It's not jam.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's exciting is, a lot of people even in the U.S. who like drinking California wines that can be jammy. For some reason, you know, they got tired with tasting these big, monolithic, giant wines from Barossa, and now you're part of that new wave of producers that are just making such drinkable wine.
Yeah. So this is the Brunette, and this comes off Mopper Hill. It's the highest elevated vineyard on the western side of the Barossa.
And this is the one that won the Chairman's Award, then?
Yeah, so this is the most cellar-worthy Shiraz of the Barossa Wine Show.
What is that sort of like blue flint or slatey character?
Yeah, so the
lavender.
Yeah, there's a real because it's an elevated site, it retains that freshness. So lots of aromatics, less about massive palate, more about freshness and vibrancy. Kind of trying to show that big is not best.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is more structure. You're getting more tannins, but not over-extracted. Just really good tannin texture. Beautiful wine.